Is it time for you to start your seeds indoors? And you've been wondering, how do I make my own seed starting mix? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to exactly do that. And also, if you've decided that you're not going to make your own mix, but you want to know what should be included in a seed starting mix, then you too need to watch this video. Now let's get started. There are so many companies out there that are making seed starting mixes in the bags. I get it. But for me, because I have so many things that I'm growing here, that it would just get too pricey for me to buy a bunch of seed starting mixes. And so I decided that I'm going to make my own, and I've been doing that since last year now, and I've loved it. It's been wonderful. So this is what either you need to make sure is probably included in your seed starting mix if you're buying it, or at least roughly near to it. And then if you're wanting to start it, these are the things that you need. So first off, get you some peat moss. Now this is just a sunshine mix number 4. It includes mycorrhizae, which is really good, which is like fungi that really helps the roots as it is absorbing water and allowing the roots to wick up and to take in nutrients. So it's a really added beneficial thing that's in here. Now, this sunshine mix is very limited with the amount of nutrients. It's really only going to last really for a couple of weeks. But it's a great way to get the seeds started because most seeds take roughly between 5 to 7 to 20 days to germinate, depending on what type of seeds it is. The other thing I want to take a look at is coco coir. Now, coco coir basically is just a neutral pH level, about 7.0 growing medium that you can use and include it in as well. You don't have to add coco coir, but I'm going to add it just because it's also neutral. It will help actually balance out the peat moss because the peat moss is more on the acidic and some plants don't want that. My tomatoes would love it, but some of my other plants are like, so I'm going to keep it more so neutral and I'm going to add some of this in there as well. But you don't have to. If all you have is peat moss, that is fine. And there are different brands of peat moss. Just use some peat moss, whatever you can get your hands on in your area. Another thing I'm going to add is just some trace minerals. Now, trace minerals is going to add some nutrients as well because it's full of minerals. Let me read a little bit on this box. It is azomite, and it says is a where are my glasses? Now, you know I brought my glasses around here somewhere. Goodness. Oh, there they are. Okay, much better. Ooh, yes. All right, is a natural mineral product mined in central Utah. And this unique deposit was formed when an ancient volcano erupted and its ash settled into a prehistoric seed, creating a complex mineral composition. There you go. That's what that is. And then also some worm castings as well, which is very beneficial. And, you know, worm poop is wonderful, and it adds also nutrients to that. So that's going to help feed the plant for a longer duration of time than that. Then we're also going to add some perlite, which is basically volcanic rock. That sounded funny the way that came out. Volcanic rock. Did you hear that? Let me say it one more time. Volcanic rock. There you go. All right, so this is going to help with really helping things to drain through. You don't want to have the water just sitting in it for a very, very long time. You want it to also drain through so the soil can also dry out some, and this is going to help with that. You also don't want things just to sit in waterlogged, and so this is going to help with just balancing that out. Now on the contrary, where it's vermiculite, it does help with water retention as well. It's lightweight soil conditioner to improve soil aeration, so it does help with that a little, and also moisture retention. So we're going to use that. Now back to this block here. I actually have some in here that I used last week. So you put the block in some warm water with a little bit of warm water, not too much, and then it just starts shredding apart and forms into what I've got here. Okay, so I'm going to add that in as well. I'm going to make sure that you have all of the ingredients listed here on the screen and also the actual measurements that will be needed to make this mix. Now, I'm just using a 1 gallon. I just got something like this just from the dollar store. It has measurements on here. Last year, some people got really confused when I was talking about quarts. So I'm going to break it down so that it's really simplified and so that you can understand exactly what it is that I'm talking about. So for example, 1 quart would be 4 cups. 2 quarts would be 8 cups. And it also depends on how you're going to do this thing or that. Okay, so the coco coir, if you're going to use coco coir and peat moss in your mix, then you're going to need 1 quart, 4 cups of coco coir, and then one quart of the peat moss, 4 cups. Okay, or 1 part, 1 part. Okay, I hope that's not too confusing. I plan on using both. If I just decided I was only going to use coco coir, then I would need 2 quarts of coco coir, 8 cups, and vice versa if I just decide to use the peat moss. But I'm going to split it. They're going to share it 50-50. And then for the other ingredients, the worm casting, you can put in maybe about 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup. That's fine. About 2 tablespoons, or if you just want to do 1 tablespoon, but about 2 tablespoons of the trace minerals, and then 1 part, so that would be 1 part of this, which would be 4 cups, and then 1 part of the vermiculite as well. I'm going to get started with this now. One other thing, because I got a bunch of things that's going to be floating around, I'm going to put this on, put my glasses up. I am going to put a mask on because I'm short, and as you can see, this is almost at my face level. This might look really funny, but I am not trying to breathe and inhale this in. Y'all, this is remind me of COVID time, but listen, you got to do what you got to do. All right. I don't normally have the mask on when I'm dealing with the peat moss. It's really that, like dealing with the perlite and the vermiculite, that's what gets irritating to me. But this other stuff, I'm usually fine. All right, so that's about, well, a little more. Let's see. 1 more scoop. Okay, that's about 1 quart. One quart. I mean 1 quart. Oh, okay. Let's put that down. So I'm going to bring this over. We're going to put the other quart in of the coco coir. Should basically fill up half of it. All right. There we go. That's good. We're going to move this aside. I go for the perlite. Turn it this way so I can see it. See the measurements. Now this mix already has some perlite in it, but I really want to have more just because last year I dealt with a little bit of algae and I just noticed that it just needed to flow out and dry out a little bit quicker than it was to my liking. But I also have fans as well too, so that helps. Now remember, in your seed starting mixes, you want it to be really fluffy. So if you're buying one, Make sure that it's fluffy. I'm so glad I have this mask on. This is already irritating me. Pretty much, that's it. That's all that I have left in that bag. Time to get some more. And then we're gonna add the worm casting. I'm gonna go ahead and just dump all this in there first, and then add the worm casting since we're pretty much at the top. Look at that. Y'all, I need to take a picture just of that. That's a beautiful measurement. There it goes in there. Look at that. I should turn my fans on. Right now they're not on. Okay, I'm gonna estimate. I'm always estimating. I don't like to follow recipes. I'm gonna estimate. Okay, let this be. No, Alethea, do not estimate. Just go ahead and do it for the sake of the recipe, because I'm showing people. Fine, I will do it as is. Let's see. I just want a quarter. Yeah, that's all I want. Just a quarter. There you go. And then trace minerals. I'm gonna add 2 of those in there. I feel like I'm cooking. I don't even use measurements when I'm cooking. I just cook from my heart. All right, I'm gonna go and get some water as well. I'm gonna mix this up just a little so you can see it before I put the water in there. Do you see that? It's very fluffy. If you get a mix that has a lot of wood chips in it and it's not fluffy or anything like that, you could always try and sift it. All right. Let's get some water. If you never knew how to cook, now you know how to cook. Just start gardening, you'll learn how to cook. All right, let's add some water. There's no measurement to the water. I just mix it till I feel like it is well to my liking. Now, I'm not making it soppy wet, but I am making it moist, kind of spongy. So just keep adding water to your liking, and then, you know, that would be it. And I'm going to add a little bit more. Now this is what it looks like. It looks good. Now I'm going to get ready to add this into my seed cell. Now I'm just going to go ahead and fill up the seed cells. That's it. See how simple that is? And I love this little green thing. Let's call it the catcher. No, I'm just playing. It just catches a lot of things. I love working in it because I can just, I don't know, it just keeps everything in a contained area. I just like it. I've seen other people with it. I'm like, ooh, I like that. I want to get that. And so you just fill your cells. That's it. Let me know if you've ever done this before where you have made your own mix, and if you have, like, what are some things that you've added into your mix to help it? You know, everybody has their own way of doing things, and you just, you know, you just learn what works for you, and then you just master it, and then you just use it. But, you know, we always learn from each other though as well. I am going to add in here some basil and possibly some marigolds, but I think I'm going to make this whole tray for basil, but I am getting marigolds started later as well. I hope this video was helpful and that there is something that you learned and that you're going to go out and get started. If you thought about gardening, go ahead and do that. And if you watch the end of this video, I know you're pretty serious about it, but go ahead and get started so that you can start growing for the upcoming spring season. But remember to subscribe to my channel if you have not. Give me a thumbs up, a like if you like this, if this was beneficial. But remember to grow, eat, and self-care. Bye.